Praise God. Today we are continuing Genesis chapter 16. I pray that God may give you understanding and revelation. And let's begin. Now Sarai is Abraham's wife, bare him no children, and she had an handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. This handmaid, I want to believe that she is the one that was sent away when was given as a gift by Pharaoh, and mostly because the Egyptians were a spiritual nation. They are a spiritual kingdom. You see, when Sarai was taken by Pharaoh, and God plagued Pharaoh. Pharaoh gave him as a gift to Sarah, mostly because he wanted to go and study the spiritual aspect of why God could do that. They wanted to know more of the God of Abraham. And now you see here, he has a handmaid, an Egyptian called Hagar. And Sarai said unto Abraham, Behold, now the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go into my maid, that I may obtain children by her. And Abraham hearkened to the voice of Sarai. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her handmaid, the Egyptian, after Abram dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. And he went unto Hagar, and she conceived. And when she had conceived, her mistress despised in her eyes. And Sarai said unto Abram, My wrong be upon thee, I have given my maid into thy bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, and was despised in her eyes, the Lord judge between me and thee. But Abram said unto Sarai, Behold, thy handmaid is in thy hand, do whatever it pleases. And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. The angel of the Lord found her by the fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain of the way to Shur. And he said, Hagar, Sarai maid, whence comest thou? And whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Return to thy mistress, and submit thyself under her hands. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with a child, and shall bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord has heard thy affliction. And he will be a wild man, his hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. And she called the name of the Lord that spoke unto her, Thou God source me, for she said, I have also here looked after him that seeth me. Wherefore the well was called Ber-Lahai-roi. Behold, it is between Kadesh and Bered. And Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram called his son's name, which Hagar bare, Ishmael. And Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore Ishmael to Abraham. I want to understand here is now the product of Ishmael. You see, God said he will bless the seed of Abraham. It doesn't matter if they were the handmaid of different concubines, all this. God said he will bless the seed, and whatever thing that Abraham produced, it became a nation. And that we're going to see it in the future verses in this Genesis chapters, because God has said unto him, I make a covenant unto that I will bless thy seed. So it doesn't matter where it went, it had the blessings of God. And we see that now Ishmael is being born out of the knowledge and carnality of man, because as man, sometimes we don't want to wait on God. We plan our own things, we say like, I know better. but God is the one who understands more. And what we can learn from this is that, first of all, let us not be quick to make decisions. Let us not always be quick and say that maybe God has departed from us, that the face of the Father is not with us. No, God knows and He understands the right and perfect time. And above all, number two is always to submit. It doesn't matter where we have come from, doesn't matter who we are serving, doesn't matter who we have been elevated. It is always good to submit, either in your spiritual, either is a spiritual father, either is a spiritual mother. All this, you have to submit. Your bosses around people, your elders, submission is key. And above all, you see that God, wherever He has made a covenant, He will always follow up to it. So it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter in your affliction. I believe that God